So about a year ago, I made this video about Joaquin Buckley, talking about how he's the next guy in the welterweight division, that he's being overlooked. And now a year later, I just wanted to kind of follow up with this video and kind of talk about what I think of Joaquin Buckley and his place in the division. So if you'll take a look at his resume, right, he got 2 big wins after that last video. He got a knockout over Stephen Thompson and a stoppage against Colby Covington, and now he's slated to face Kamaru Usman at UFC Atlanta. First of all, yo, chill on the unks, all right? Chill on the nursing home folks. But seriously though, I think Joaquin Buckley has played his position in the division very well. He's taken his career seriously. And I mean, if you just look at his activity as well, 4 fights in 2024, 2 fights in 2023, and now he's kind of slowing things down because now he's at the top of the division. Okay, but I wanted to talk about his improvements once he moved down here. But first, we can compare his resume to somebody else in the division. So, out of all the prospects, all the up-and-comers in the welterweight division, I would say Shavkat Rakhmonov is the #1 guy, right? I think everybody agrees with that. And I think Shavkat arguably has the best resume. And just hold this image in your head, right? The wins over Colby Covington, Stephen Thompson, Vicente Luque, okay? Just hold that in your head. And let's take a look at Shavkat Rakhmonov, okay? One thing you'll notice, big difference, activity, all right? Joaquin Buckley has been so much more active. He's got 6 fights just within 2 years, 1.5 years of being in the division. And Shavkat Rakhmonov's got like 7 in 4 years. So that's pretty crazy, right? Shavkat is very injury prone, and that's okay. You got 2 wins, that's the same. Both finishes over Stephen Thompson, but I would say Joaquin Buckley's is way more impressive. Okay, the Jeff Neal win, great fight. Okay, great win as well. Jeff Neal's a good opponent. I would say Shavkat still has a better resume just because of that Ian Gary win, but that Ian Gary win isn't as good of an all-time win as like Vicente Luque or as like, you know, a Colby Covington. I would say the best win on Joaquin Buckley's resume is definitely Colby. And I would think that this win is better than that Jeff Neal win because, look, even though Jeff Neal will probably piece up Joaquin Buckley, he probably would, that fight is not happening, okay, first of all. They're in different places in the division right now. And second of all, Shavkat went to war with Jeff Neal. This was a back-and-forth fight where he got chinned, where he got rocked, where he had to fight to survive and come back for a win. He wasn't really losing. He didn't need to come back, but it was a war. The Colby fight was a domination. Buckley was in control of the fight ever since the first second. I think that's a very impressive win. And the Stephen Thompson knockout is more impressive than the Shavkat win because Shavkat struggled to take Stephen Thompson down. I don't think he got a takedown until like the very, very late parts of round 1. He didn't do as well on the feet. And submitting Stephen Thompson and like finishing him on the ground is not as impressive as chinning him on the feet. All right, that's just true. Stephen Thompson has known to have a ground weakness, and the way that the Buckley finished him, it's never been done before. Nobody has ever chased down Stephen Thompson, cut off the cage, and landed a big bomb on him. Okay. I know that he's been finished one-shot KO'd by Pettis before, but that was a fluke. That was the flukiest fluke of all flukes. This was not a fluke, right? Buckley did not fluke Thompson. He's been setting that up that entire fight, okay? So my point is Buckley has a great resume in this division, all right? And he might even have the best in the division. I'm not going to say for sure because I do believe that Shavkat has a better one, but put some respect on Joaquin Buckley, okay? And here are his kind of like changes when he moved down from middleweight. He's always had good cardio, but once he's moved down, I've noticed he comes into fights with good game plans, right? When he fought Stephen Thompson and he looked for takedowns as soon as he got him near the cage, I was like, okay, you came to fight. And like when he faced off against Colby and he started digging body shots, I was like, okay, he came to fight. He knew what are some things that worked on these guys, when he's clearly watched tape and watched what's worked against his opponents before. And I think he will do that against Usman as well. His dirty boxing, he's always had good hooks, good meaty fucking punches, because just look at his build, all right? Just imagine Joaquin Buckley's naked body in front of you. Pause. He's very built, and he swings wild. He's kind of like Ilia Topuria in that way, where he's winding up in these big shots, and he does good work inside the pocket because of it. He's kind of like a new age Colby Covington, not in sort of like the pillow hand and volume way, but in the way that he's looking to mix it up, and he's got good hooks. I think his jab is kind of underrated. He doesn't use it as much. His chin looks a lot better at welterweight. Before he was getting a gust of wind could knock him over. All right, he's getting chinned by like random bumps. Alessio De Chirico. Like, where's that guy at now? And he's looked like he's been working on his wrestling really well. And it's not like he's obviously using his athleticism, but he's wrestling. He's learning the techniques. Just look at that fight with Colby, where he's just like staying safe, staying back, and when Colby shot in, he just fucking shoves his hips into him. And it shows in his offensive wrestling as well, because when you just practice wrestling, you're gonna get better at it, all right? And he just looks strong in the division as well. And he has good fight IQ. He has good awareness of range. He knows, okay, let me, where his advantages are, and he will reset when stuff start looking bad for him. He knows that against, these less powerful fighters like Thompson and Colby, he could just blitz in and fucking because he knows they won't be able to hurt him. So I think these are the things that he's looked really good in since moving out in welterweight. Things I do want from him is more dynamicism, right? I would say Buckley has a good game, a well-rounded game where he does a bit of everything. He has some kicks that he uses, but he's not like an Ian Gary where he's out in the open, hands up. You know what I'm talking about? 1, 2, jab, body kick, leg kick, oblique kick. He's not using these quote unquote good looking strikes on the feet. And I think he could use some of that, especially against his next opponent in Usman. I think he has some range-finding weapons that he could adopt. His jab is good, like I said, but he just doesn't use it enough. He's not the most rangy guy in the division. And a lot of times he runs in, and I feel like that could be, it could be that he's not respecting his opponent's power, but I think he could set up his entries a lot better. And that has to do with the straight shots. I don't think I've ever seen Buckley throw like a backhand. But more rangefinders, more straight shots, some calf kicks, some body kicks, stuff out in the open. He does a lot of work in the pocket, and it's worked so far. But against other, prime athletes that, look for weaknesses that changes their game, is not going to work as well. Like if he runs into a JDM, is he going to be able to do that sort of game against JDM? And another thing I forgot to put is the switch stances. He fights very smoothly from both stances. And I think that's a quality that not a lot of guys in the game has. And again, I just want to mention his cardio is really good. He's got like 30-something professional fights or something, and it shows. He didn't really slow down in that Colby fight at all, which I found really impressive. But let's talk about his next fight against Usman. So when this fight first got announced, I was like, oh shit, Unk's getting obliterated. All right. His knee is not the same. What is he going to do against Buckley? But now that I've studied tape, I've watched them their fights, I find that Buckley has some exploitable parts for Usman. If this was prime Usman, I would pick Usman to win. His straight shots are good, and Buckley does get put up against the fence sometimes. And he relies on the fence a lot to get up to his feet, and that's something that Usman can exploit. However, the kicks, the youth, the athleticism, it's all going to be on Buckley's side. People are like, oh, he's going to stomp the shit out of Usman's knees. And I think that would be the smart thing to do, but I've just never seen Buckley do that. I haven't seen him do it enough where I can confidently say that he will take he will take Usman's knees home with him. But if the fight starts and within the first minute Buckley fucking stomps Usman's knee, I'm like, all right, it's over. Just put all your chips on Buckley. All right. Overall, though, I will make a full prediction for this fight, but I do think that he will win against Kamaru Usman. And then he's in a very interesting place in the division because with that win, you would say, like, if he does it impressively, I would say he earns a title shot. But I don't think he's going to win. I think if he finishes Usman, it's by like a TKO where like Usman's knees give out, or he's just getting hit with a barrage of strikes, and he's not really like chinned, but he's where the ref is like, all right, that's enough. Like, take it easy on the old man. I think a more likely outcome is a decision for Buckley. I think Usman's very, very tough. He's very durable. But let's say he does get through Usman like that. He's in a very interesting place in the division because I think Brady has the best shot at being being the next title challenger after Shavkat. But I'm also hearing Shavkat versus Bilal Muhammad for some reason from John Anik. If you've seen that clip, you know what I'm talking about. But let's say that fight is happening, then I would say Brady gets the next title shot because, come on, submitting Leon, finishing the former champion and dominating him is a great win, okay? That's better than an Usman win in 2025. But let's say he smokes, if he dominates Usman, knocks him out, then he would definitely get the title shot. But we'll see how it plays out. I'm excited to see Buckley in that title picture, but I don't know if he's going to be the champ because if you line him up against the other prospects, there's some fights where I'm a little worried, like what I leaked here, JDM versus Buckley. I think JDM wins this fight. Despite Buckley's well-rounded in this, I don't think he mixes it up super well, where he kind of has modes. He's like, all right, now I strike, and then now I grapple. I think JDM will be able to figure it out and outbox him with cleaner, crisper technique. And I think JDM has just more accuracy. I think their power is similar, but JDM uses it more smoothly. Buckley kind of winds up a lot, and I feel like somebody like JDM is going to be able to find the shots within that. Another fight, Shavkat. I think this is a way better matchup for Buckley. I think he might mog Shavkat. Look, I know Shavkat's the boogeyman, but I'm overlooking him, all right? I don't think he's going to do that well in the division. I think he will lose to Bilal. I think Shavkat loses to Bilal. And I think Buckley could have success against somebody like Shavkat, digging to the body and just out-dogging him. I think he would have more power than Shavkat. But I would be worried about Shavkat's straight shots, his kicks, stuff like that, and his just general more well-roundedness and his submission game. Buckley doesn't have a submission game. He doesn't really do jiu-jitsu. Something that I wish he had. Like, if he had like a nasty front choke, he would be a lot better. And somebody like Sean Brady. This is a nightmare matchup for Sean Brady. All right? If you're Sean Brady, you're looking to avoid this fight, dude. How are you going to win against Joaquin Buckley? I know that I don't see Sean Brady as somebody that's very good, and I might be overlooking him as well, but I don't see how he would win against Buckley. Is he going to take down Buckley? Like, how is he going to win here? I really don't see it. This is a nightmare matchup for Sean Brady, in my opinion. Now, I think this is the sleeper nightmare matchup for Joaquin Buckley. I think Ian Gary would dance circles around him. He's just too slick. I think one thing Ian Gary showed is that he's very fast, he's very maneuverable, and he knows the game very well. I think that he wouldn't get taken out by Buckley. He would just maintain the range super well and pick at him and pick at him and pick at him, and Buckley will run for it and he'll just move out the way. This is a nightmare matchup for Buckley, in my opinion. So all in all, I don't think that he would become the champion. I don't see it. I think that Buckley is very good. He probably will challenge for the belt, but becoming the champ and defending, I don't think so. I think this division is very deep right now. But I still like Buckley's chances. I like his improvements, and he's somebody that's steadily improving. One thing I didn't bring up is that he's clearly learning and improving on the go. Between fights, he's getting better. And against Usman, I think that would be the difference, where Usman is just trying to maintain what he has. I think Buckley is rounding out his game, adding more tools to the toolbox. And I think that will carry him against Usman and into a title shot. But yeah, man, those are my thoughts and my rant on Joaquin Buckley. Let me know what y'all think. If you like, subscribe, leave a comment, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out.